Right now on Jamaica News Page tonight, we're following breaking news. Several employees at one of Jamaica's major shipping terminals are in custody as authorities widen a massive drug smuggling investigation. What we're learning tonight. And developing tonight, the man wanted in connection with a brutal attack on two elderly sisters in St. Anne has been captured. An update on the sisters' condition ahead. Then a major breakthrough in the killing of American actor Brian-Todd Anthony Boucher, who appeared in the biopic Bob Marley One Love. What investigators are revealing tonight. Plus, an alleged police shootout in St. Andrew leaves one man dead. The intelligence police say they received about a possible gun attack being planned. And a hopeful homecoming.
They say not until you've walked in somebody's shoes before you know what they've been through. And I can say to you that not until you have someone who has been affected severely by burn can you know what that journey is.
Two survivors of the devastating Guardsman beryllium garage explosion are back in Jamaica after weeks of intensive treatment overseas. Welcome back to Jamaica News Page tonight, news that keeps you connected to what's happening across Jamaica, and we're powered by viewers just like you. Please click subscribe and tap the notification bell to stay connected. Thank you for joining us at Tia Foster. Jamaica News Page tonight starts right now. We begin tonight with the major drug smuggling investigation unfolding at one of Jamaica's busiest shipping terminals. Several employees are now in police custody as investigators probe what they suspect could be a smuggling syndicate operating from inside the Kingston container terminal. The investigation follows the seizure earlier this week of cocaine police estimate to be worth approximately 1 billion Jamaican dollars. And tonight, the investigation appears to be widening, with authorities following leads beyond Kingston. The Kingston Freeport Terminal was placed under what has been described as a virtual lockdown for several hours on Friday as members of the security forces carried out a high-level operation connected to the massive cocaine seizure. Authorities have not officially disclosed the exact number of people detained. However, the Jamaica Gleaner reports that at least 8 employees were detained during Friday's operation. Another employee was reportedly detained on Thursday as investigators began probing the movement of a container that had been under surveillance. That initial investigation then expanded as authorities sought to determine whether other people working at the terminal may have been involved. The surveillance reportedly formed a part of the operation that ultimately led to the discovery of the cocaine. Meanwhile, premises in St. Thomas and other parishes have reportedly been searched as investigators continue following leads. On Friday, police and customs personnel also reportedly intercepted another container as it was being moved out of the port. Its contents were examined and the driver was detained, according to sources. The investigation comes during what has already been an extraordinary year for cocaine seizures in Jamaica. In June, the Firearms and Narcotics Investigation Division reported that more than 5,100 kilograms of cocaine, valued at approximately 3 billion Jamaican dollars, had been seized during the first 6 months of 2026. That amount had already surpassed the combined cocaine seizures recorded over the previous 6 years. It was also more than double the previous single-year record of 2,508 kilograms seized in 2024. The latest investigation remains active and authorities say further developments could follow. We'll continue monitoring this breaking story and provide further information as it becomes available. We're also following new developments in the search for the person wanted in connection with a brutal attack on two elderly sisters in St. Anne. A man known as Bobby is now in police custody. Senior Superintendent of Police for St. Anne, Carlos Russell, says he was captured by police in neighboring St. Mary at about 7:30 Thursday evening. Police say they received information that he was staying at a relative's home in Port Maria. He had been wanted following Wednesday evening's attack on two sisters, ages 81 and 75, at their home in Bamboo, St. Anne. Police allege that the man went to the woman's home and demanded money. During the incident, investigators say he forced his way inside and attacked the sisters with a sharp object. but the attack, police allege, did not end there. Investigators say the house was then set on fire with both women still inside. Residents and police rushed to the burning home and managed to rescue the sisters. They were taken to the St. Anne's Bay Regional Hospital, where police say both women remain in serious but stable condition. As of news time, it's unclear whether the man has been formally charged, and if so, what charges he's facing. There's also a major development tonight in the investigation into the killing of an American actor and the wounding of another man in Waterford, Portmore, St. Catherine. Police sources say investigators have made a significant breakthrough in the shooting death of 47-year-old Brian-Todd Anthony Boucher and the wounding of a 37-year-old man. Boucher, who performed under the stage name Ras AJ, appeared in the acclaimed biopic Bob Marley One Love, portraying former leader of the Shower Posse gang, Claude Massop. Boucher was shot and killed on Emancipation Day, August 1, in Waterford. He had reportedly arrived in Jamaica only hours before he was killed. Investigators say Boucher and the other man were walking along a roadway in Waterford, Portmore, when armed men traveling in a motor car approached them. According to investigators, one of the gunmen exited the vehicle and opened fire. Boucher was rushed to the Spanish Town General Hospital, where he was pronounced dead. As of news time, the condition of the other victim was unknown. The circumstances surrounding the shooting have been under investigation by detectives attached to the St. Catharines South Police Division. And now, police sources indicate that charges are expected to be laid this week following a series of intensive operations. Authorities have not yet publicly identified who's expected to be charged or announced what charges could be laid. We'll continue following this developing story and bring you new information as it becomes available. We're also following this developing story in St. Andrew, where a 33-year-old man is dead following an alleged confrontation with police. The incident happened in Olympic Gardens early Thursday morning. The man has been identified as Swain Robinson, otherwise called Black God, of a Bottom House Hall address in Mapen, Clarendon. Police say a specialized team went in search of Robinson at about 4 in the morning. He was reportedly wanted in connection with serious crimes. The operation took officers to premises at one McDonald Place in Olympic Gardens in an area known as Compound. Police say they used a ballistic shield to enter the premises where 3 men were detained. Robinson, however, allegedly attempted to escape. According to police, he opened fire at them during the confrontation, with at least 1 round striking the ballistic shield. The officers returned fire, and Robinson was shot and later pronounced dead. Police say a 9mm pistol, along with a magazine containing 3 rounds of ammunition, was recovered. It's being alleged that Robinson was a member of a gang operating in the area. Police say the operation was launched after they received intelligence that Robinson was allegedly planning to carry out a murder over a stolen firearm from the gang's arsenal. Robinson had been released from prison in 2023. The Independent Commission of Investigations Indicom has launched a probe into the incident. And finally tonight, the homecoming their families have been waiting for. 2 survivors of the devastating Guardsman Beryllium garage explosion are finally back home after weeks of intensive treatment overseas. Their return marks another chapter in a journey that has included devastating loss, months of medical treatment, and for the survivors and their families, lives forever changed. 4 men were severely injured in the May 27, 2026 explosion at a garage adjacent to the company's South Camp Road headquarters. Firefighters say the explosion happened shortly before 9 in the morning while welding work was being carried out on the property. 3 of the injured men were eventually airlifted overseas for specialized burn treatment. One of them was Fabian Brown. On Friday, Brown and another survivor returned to Jamaica following weeks of intensive treatment abroad. Fabian made the journey home accompanied by his wife, Maisha. For her, his return is a moment of enormous gratitude, but she says the road to recovery is far from over.
The journey is just beginning. People might think, oh, you get burned, you're healed. This is a total different, this is a life-changing experience. People need to understand that when you experience burn and you're recovering, it takes years and your life will never be the same. The sun, something that we take for granted, you can no longer go in that. Your body experiences. I'm there and I'm looking at him and he says to me he's cold, and you cover him up and within a minute he's telling you take it off, I'm hot. That's how it is, and nobody knows. Nobody knows. But I'm telling you, God is good, and I know that the road it continues, but just the same that he has been there for us these 2.5 months, he will continue to be there. They say not until you've walked in somebody's shoes before you know what they've been through. And I can say to you that not until you have someone who has been affected severely by burn can you know what that journey is. And I'm thankful, grateful that Fabian is still here with us. Richard is still here with us, but most of all, I'm just really disappointed that we lost 2 lives along the way. But we just have to leave it to God and trust in Him and know that whatever it is, He will show us what really is.
Stephen Joseph's co-founder of the Crisis Support Charity and the Burn Foundation of Jamaica.
Right, my name is Luke Josephs. I'm co-founder of both the Crisis Support Charity and the Burn Foundation of Jamaica.
This is one of the most ambitious rescue ever undertaken in the Caribbean in terms of the success. And burn hospitals around the world and university is studying the success of the outcomes. And so in terms of logistics, coordination, patient care. And so we're very happy that we were able to execute this with our team. But first and foremost, I also want to give praises to the Almighty for sparing their life, which is very important. And I want to give praises to the Wellstar Cub Hospital in Atlanta, the UCSF Hospital in California, and also the JMS Burn Center in Augusta, Georgia. Coming back, they were happy because let me tell you something. For them to come on that, the first one we took him on a commercial flight, and then the private flight pick up the next one. And let me tell you something. To see these guys going on the aircraft, I just see a witness of miracle before us because they were really in a bad shape. And if they never leave Jamaica, we all know what that would be like. And so we're grateful to God for sparing these gentlemen's life. But I must say thanks to the team, the crisis support team, both locally and internationally. I must say thanks to Trinity Air Ambulance and all who played their part in spearheading this world-class mission that is now being studied by the Burn Center, taking the positive and seeing how they can imply it within their structure.
A long road remains ahead, but tonight, after months away from Jamaica fighting to recover, Fabian and the other survivor are home. Welcome home. We're rooting for you as you both continue on the road to recovery. And that's the news on Jamaica News Page tonight. News that keeps you connected to what's happening across Jamaica, and we're powered by viewers just like you. Please leave a comment so we can welcome you with a shout out. Thank you for joining us at Tia Foster, and also thank you for watching Jamaica News Page tonight. We'll see you in the comments, and be sure to like, share, and join us again for more news. From all of us here, good night.